The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCNTV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCNTV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCNTV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCNTV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
Is Generation X. That's me. I was born in the 70s.
And
yeah.
Like 79 or like 73?
I'm not talking to you about this.
After 12. But like,
girl.
you don't say nothing night, like, like kind of,
Christina, can we stay on script? This is why I have it.
What? Like sometimes you act your age and sometimes you don't. And this is one of those moments where it's like, wow, like this lady's really... Anyway.
You call me a lady?
I did call you a lady. Hello, 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 beautiful people.
Yeah, I remember all this.
Bioethicist Carrie Bowman once visited the now infamous seafood market in Wuhan, China. It was packed full of live and dead animals. A leading theory is that a worker inside this market contracted the virus from an animal.
You've got urine and feces spraying from one enclosure to another, creating really an incubator for emerging viruses.
Now a newly published paper strongly suggests, like SARS, the original source of this virus was bats. Scientists sequenced its genome, then compared it to other coronaviruses living inside horseshoe bats from eastern China. They found a close match, slightly different from SARS, but in the same family.
Most of it will come back to bats.
Professor Scott Weiss studies and treats infectious diseases in animals. He says bats live all over the world. They're essential in pollinating fruit and eating insects. And they've been passing diseases to one another in their vast colonies for thousands of years. But Weiss says they also have an important trait in common with us.
Bats are mammals, so they are related to us. And if certain components of that bat are somewhat human-like, it makes that ability of the virus to cross a lot easier.
Meaning, a virus that likes living in a bat may also like living in us. The question is, why don't the viruses sicken or kill the bats?
They're the only truly flying mammal, and that's got to have some impact on its physiology.
Peter Daszak studied bats in China for 15 years. He speculates that as bats evolved to fly, somehow their immune systems changed.
If we could find out, the chemicals that bats use within the body to regulate viruses, maybe some of those could be used as potential drugs against some of those viruses.
Flying also gave bats the ability to easily spread disease. Their bites, urine, and feces can infect people and animals on farms and in the wild.
The market that I saw in Wuhan, we counted 56 different species. So a lot of these species, and probably almost 2/3 of them, were wild.
Stopping the sale of wildlife in these markets would help, but people are also encroaching on the areas where bats live. Scientists say we need to do a better job studying and monitoring bats. More outbreaks like this one are inevitable, but lessons can be learned from this virus with the goal of getting ahead of the next one. Christine Gwira, CBC News, Toronto.
Hello, 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 beautiful people. It's me, Chris, by myself, alone, because Simone is on location at the city of Windsor, and she's doing some great, awesome work there. And she is not here with us physically, but she's definitely here with us in spirit. So, wherever you are, Simone, aloha. Hello, how are you doing? On today's show, just because Sim is not here, it doesn't mean we're not going to get in the now and talk about up stated topics in the news and in technology, and here as well as in our beautiful country of Canada. Am I right? Yes, of course. So today is also the last day of January. So towards the end of today's show, we'll be talking about January, goal planning. Was January good to you? Was 2020 good to you thus far, etc.? So the first thing we're going to talk about, the thing no one in the world can stop talking about, is the coronavirus. First and foremost, Corona, like the beer? Really? Like, I honestly did not know until a couple of days ago that the name of the virus is actually called the coronavirus. This whole entire time, I thought it was like Conoravirus or like something else. I definitely thought there was an H in it, but to find out that it's being called the coronavirus, the first thing that came to my mind was like, beer? Interesting. Very, very interesting. So it's something that's happening. You've seen the video. And is it scary? Is it scary? Is this actually what's going on in the world today? Is it something that's happening and affecting as many people as people are saying it's affecting? So we have this website here, and it is essentially tracking across the world the number of cases as well as the number of deaths that the virus has taken at this current point in time. So if you look, it says as of right now across the world, hypothetically speaking, there are about 9,934 cases of the coronavirus as of today, January 31st, 2020. I'm not sure about you, but that's a lot of cases. And this is what we're just assuming right now. And also, there are approximately 213 deaths. And as early as of this morning, the CDC, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, is stating that there is actually currently approximately 6 cases of the coronavirus in the United States as of right now. This is huge. This is huge. If you scroll down, you can actually see there's a table listing what is going on with this virus across various countries in the world. If you look closer to the bottom, you see that Canada has 3. In our beautiful nation, there's 3. You see there's a couple of days ago, I think yesterday, there was 2, or the first instance of the virus hit the UK. But I want to go back to Canada. Canada, are we doing enough to keep ourselves safe from this virus? I want to play another clip from another news source, and I want us to really think about this. Let's play that clip.
So, folks, what did we learn from our visit to Toronto's Pearson International Airport? Well, the people getting off the flight from China who could speak English and did talk to us said there is no additional screening whatsoever going on. They simply write on a form whether or not they've been to Wuhan. And other than that, apparently they are not checked for a fever. They are not even verbally asked if they've had coughing spells. I find that really curious, given that the coronavirus outbreak is the number one trending story in the world right now. Additionally, there are employees here. They weren't keen on camera. One lady said that she's been instructed by her employer not to talk about wearing a face mask and latex gloves. That's kind of curious. And there were also a couple of Canadian Border Service agents. These are the guys at ground zero. These are the guys screening the people into the country. They wouldn't talk to us at all. Well, why is that? I mean, surely these are the sentinels making sure that sick people with a very contagious virus aren't coming into Canada. Why are they giving us the silent treatment? In any event, as the days and weeks go on and the number of confirmed cases increases and the death toll increases, we'll be keeping an eye on this story and asking the question, is indeed Canada doing enough to ensure public safety from this devastating coronavirus?
So this is something that we really need to think about. Why is this virus that is going from country to country, has now made its way from China to Canada, just was discovered in the U.S. as early as this morning, January 31st, 2020, And I believe yesterday it was also discovered the first instance in the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm a bit concerned as to why more is not being done. I'm not saying this from a radicalized perspective, but I really do feel we need to look into this a bit more and take the necessary precautions to keep ourselves safe. So on the next segment, we're going to be talking again about Canada and especially about the layoffs that are coming into the tech and financial sector. So stay tuned, stay connected in the now.
Hey there and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through 3 tips if you get affected by the layoffs of WeWork. In this video today, I'm going to show you step by step what people who are affected by layoffs should always do as soon as it happens. These are techniques that we've helped thousands of people inside the Work It Daily platform use when they've been affected by layoffs or firings. And now we're going to unlock those same tips just for you. So tip number 1 is to immediately update your LinkedIn profile and your resume. You know, when you get hit with an unexpected layoff, you may feel like you need a day or two to kind of grieve or process it. And I understand this is a really negative event in your life. But one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself is to actually update these 2 career tools. And here's why. Going through your accomplishments and what you've achieved and getting both of these documents ready to go is going to remind you just what a talent you are. Look, layoffs are things that happen to everybody, and it wasn't your fault. It doesn't mean that you're not a valuable player. And the sooner you figure that out by putting your tools together, the better. Now, it's also important to know what to put on and not put on your resume and your LinkedIn profile. In fact, we've got a couple of really great videos here on our YouTube channel to help you not only with your resume, but specifically with your LinkedIn profile. And in particular, and you'll see the link below, there's a video where I talk about things you should never put in your headline when you've been affected by a layoff. So tip number 2 is to get very clear in your value and your career goals going forward. You are a business of one. You're a service provider, and now you're going to go out and find a new employer. When you do that, you've got to be extremely articulate in terms of how you provide value, how you save or make the company enough money to justify the cost of hiring you. You also have to have a very clear explanation of what you want to do next in your career. You have to have career goals. The reason for this is that you're going to get out and start networking with people and meeting with people. And if you're saying things like, well, I don't know what I want to do next, or, oh, I'm not really sure what value I bring to the organization, you're striking out. They're not going to want to help you because you're not helping yourself. So before you get out there and talk to anyone about your next job, you've got to know what value you bring and what you want to do next. Now, we have a couple of great resources that you can take advantage of to really help you get clear in terms of the value you bring to employers and how to market that. There are a couple of quizzes that we offer. If you click the links below, they'll not only show you your communication style and the best way to deliver it, but they'll also show you your value, your workplace persona, how you best do tasks on the job. And that's going to help you get very clear in explaining what you do best. Now, my 3rd tip for you is to get some help, some tools, some resources so that you can understand the new rules to job search and career success. Things have changed dramatically, not just in the last decade, but in the last couple of years alone. There's all sorts of new technology, and there's all sorts of new expectations that hiring managers and recruiters have for you as the job seeker. And most people don't know these. Why? Because no one teaches it to you. But now you need to learn them, because you don't want to go out there and make a mistake. You don't want to go out there and put the wrong foot forward. You've got to make great first impressions. And to do that, you have to understand exactly what's happening and how to make the most of it. The good news is we've got another great resource for you on that as well. If you click down below, we've created a brand new tutorial called the 10 New Career Rules, and it's going to blow your mind in terms of helping you understand exactly what you do right now to take advantage of what's happening in the marketplace.
Hello, beautiful people. So I know we just played a video regarding WeWork and their layoffs that happened about a year ago, but we just had some news come in regarding the coronavirus, specifically regarding the patient 0 in Canada, and he is currently being discharged from Sunnybrook Hospital as we speak. So right now there's a press conference going on, and medical physicians and officers are at Sunnybrook Hospital right now, and they are basically giving their report. The man has since been released. His wife also contracted a strain of the virus, but was advised to stay at home and be self-contained. So that's the most recent update we have on the coronavirus. This just came in at around 12:10 while the previous video was playing. So the plot thickens. But to go on to what we saw at the top of this segment, we're talking about layoffs, and that video was giving tips and resources and advice on what to do if you were to get laid off. Specifically, that video was geared towards those who are laid off from WeWork, and we spoke a little bit about that on the Toronto Caribbean newspaper, talking about WeWork and its structure or lack thereof. So if you want to read up on the article, simply go to www.torontocaribbean.com. Did I get that right? I think I got it right. I got it right, y'all. Go there, check it out, and you can actually read more on that article over on our website. But just in yesterday, Toronto's Wrangle.io, which is a very prominent development firm here in Toronto, let go of about 14% of their workforce. They say that the reason that they did these layoffs was to keep the business more agile and to keep it streamlined. This is the second wave of layoffs that they've had in approximately 1 year, which begs to question what is going on. Why is this business now chopping up a huge percentage of their workforce, and what does that mean for those who were left behind? Right now, there's a document that is being shared on social media, as is customary now for tech startups to do, which basically is listing out all the names of those who are affected by these unfortunate layoffs so that they'll be able to find new work within the tech space and tech sector in Toronto. But it seems like layoffs aren't only happening in the tech force, it's also happening in finance, because CIBC has also stated that they will also be going through a round of layoffs very, very soon to keep their business more streamlined and to basically, in my personal opinion, pad some profits. As you guys recently know, if you've been following along with my journey as an entrepreneur in 2020, salaries can get really expensive. I'm going to tell you that for very, very free. It eats up a lot of a business's operating expenses. So could this be a way for CIBC to kind of, make some adjustments in the way that they're reporting their finances? We'll never know. But their CEO is saying that they will be doing this in stride. They're saying that they need to do this for the health of the organization. And it really goes to show that, nothing is really promised when it comes to your job. Like, job security, for the most part, can be considered a myth in today's day and age. So Victor Dodig, who is the CEO of CIBC, said that they're trying to simplify their operations. And that's why these layoffs came about. So this includes reviewing our team to ensure that we are structured to maximize the capabilities of our team, streamline decision-making, and further enhance our ability to execute our strategy and priorities. This is what the CEO of CIBC is currently stating. And he said that as a result of this, as a result of us trying to streamline, trying to become more agile, some of our team members will be leaving the bank in the next few months. Personally, I really love the agile structure. I once had a project where I was working as a web designer on the project, and I was assigned a project manager. And that was the first time I'd worked with a project manager. And let me tell you, it was great for the structure, but I felt on my toes the entire time. And we're working in agile sprints, and we're working with Scrum. I think her actual title was Scrum Master. But in either case, I personally felt that when I was working with this system, working with this project manager, I felt like my productivity on the project was really, really good. And to this day, that client, even though the original person who referred me to this client doesn't work with this client, they're now a really good client of mine, and we've gone on to do several other projects together. I really think when it comes to running a business, you really need to run as lean as possible. And I think that's what these organizations are also realizing. Sometimes you have a new fancy startup, you're a great big bank, you're a business, and you want to hire as many people as possible. But sometimes keeping your outfit as lean as possible can sometimes be the best way to run your business. And that's definitely something that I've been learning through my process of growing and expanding and working in and on my business. So in the next segment, we're going to talk about January. We're going to have, a little conversation as to what January has been like thus far in 2020. I would really love to hear your thoughts and opinions about what we've discussed so far, about the layoffs at CIBC, the layoffs at Wrangle.io, the coronavirus, and even the most recent update as of a couple of moments ago, where the first Canadian person has been discharged from the hospital, got the whole clear, who was infected with the coronavirus. So please make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We would love for you to be notified of our other shows that happen on the network. Leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts. We're always wanting to hear from you. So please make sure that you comment in the comment section down below, or if you're watching live, I think it's to your right. Make sure you comment over there. Share this out. Let somebody else know what your thoughts are about this show. And as always, make sure you stay connected with us on social media. So make sure you're following us on all networks. We're on Twitter, we're on Periscope, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Make sure you're following MyTCNTV. That's the network for you to follow. So stay tuned, stay connected, and I'll be back to share more about SMART goals and planning, recapping on January 2020 right here on In the Now.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
I'm your host, Erica Lita, and this is What Matters on TCN Network. What I do every week is I cover what matters to our audience.
Hey, I really like that commercial. It was a really great commercial. I was like mesmerized by it. That's why I wasn't like able to connect it to this segment as fast as I thought I was going to. But yeah, I wanted to talk about January. Today's January 31st. It's the end of the first month of 2020. Give yourself a pat on the back, round of applause, clink, clink, cheers. You made it to the end of January. How's your January been? Has it been a tough one for you? Has it been one of introspection and reflection? Has it been one where you really learned a lot about life? It's been like that for me. This month has really been, I'm not going to lie to you, it's been a great month. Now, I'm not saying I made a lot of money, because because I know a lot of people whenever Christina, say like I had a great month, people always assume I'm talking about money, but January really taught me that there's a way more important things to life than money, and it's about reaching and meeting and accomplishing your goals. That's a really big thing. Last year, 2019, I set only two goals only, and one was to walk every day. The second was to have $10,000 in revenue every single month. Now, I hit some of those goals for some months, and for some months I didn't hit those goals. But what it helped me realize was that I have to be consistent when it comes to my goals. Before, in the past, I was very goal averse. I would never set goals. I would only focus on creating my daily to-do list, and that was it. I would do nothing else. It was like, whatever's on my daily to-do list, that's what I need to do. Like, eventually, as time goes by, as things go by, as long as I complete my daily to-do list, by the end of the year, I would have completed quite a lot. So, I've learned that that's not really the best way to go about accomplishing goals. Recently, we had a training here with the rest of the MyTCN family of shows, and we learned about SMART goals. And I wanted to share a little bit about that in today's segment, where we're just talking about goals and planning. And here is an example of what SMART goals are. They're specific, they're measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. And there's a lot of different ways that people can kind of change what each of these acronyms or each of these letters in this acronym mean, but this is kind of something I felt that was relevant. And I felt that, in January, I decided to make some SMART goals unintentionally, not necessarily with a plan, but I decided, these are some of the things that by the end of the month I would like to accomplish. And I'm really proud to say that I have accomplished all of them. Learning has been a really big thing for me this month, just learning and growing as a person, as an entrepreneur. Restructuring my business has been a big one as well. Refocusing it, just changing the jig up. That has also been something that has been on my mind and has been put into place and into perspective for the month of January 2020. In the comment section down below, whether you're on Periscope or you're on Facebook, on YouTube, I want you to share with the rest of the In the Now family and viewers about one goal you were able to accomplish in January. And I want you to reflect and go through the whole month. What is something that you were able to do consistently that helped you get ahead? Whether it could have been, something as simple as brushing your teeth twice a day. Something small. What was something you were consistent with throughout the course of January 2020? Share it. Let us know. We want to support you, want to hear from you. Right now, I'm going to play a short clip by a really well-known professional development coach called Brian Tracy. And he has this amazing book called Eat That Frog. And essentially what the book is about, it's about tackling and conquering procrastination. And I know that's something a lot of people, myself included, we struggle with that. So he's going to talk a little bit about SMART goals and the fear of failure and how we can use SMART goals to help us have a better February. Let's take a look at that clip.
Fear of failure is the biggest single enemy of personal success for you or me or anyone else. It's often petrifying enough to cause you to avoid completing projects or even having the confidence to start one in the first place. A positive way of overcoming this mental self-paralysis is to create SMART goals. A SMART goal is a goal that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bounded. If you have a long-term project, use what is called the checklist manifesto. You take the long-term project and you break it down into a list of smaller, easier to finish tasks. You organize the list by what you do first, what you do second, what you do third, and then you begin on number one. Once you break out all of the tasks you need to do to complete a project, identify the most important tasks and start on those. Make sure that you set deadlines for each task as well as for the completion of the entire project or goal. Your mental health is critical to leading the life that you deserve. Start making the changes that you need to improve it today.
Hey. So I want to encourage you guys, check out that book, Eat That Frog. It's really been a great book for me. I think he gives the e-book version of it, like an e-copy, free on his website. So make sure you check that out as well. We may add it to the description box for you. But SMART goals. Are you setting SMART goals for February? February is literally tomorrow. It's not even 18 hours away. And in the next segment, I'm going to share with you some of my goals because I want you guys to hold me accountable. Yes, similar to how the book challenge was a flop, kind of, sort of. I'm actually proud of myself because what ended up happening was within 4 months, I read 8 books. I'm sorry, that's a pretty big deal to me personally. I felt like I accomplished something great there. But, I probably want to push myself further and actually try and read 1 book a week. So I'll probably be taking Simone's advice and reading shorter books or whatever. But I'm going to try and do that next month. So January, a lot has happened in this month. So much globally. Last week, I think. Was it last week? Last week, we lost a real one. We lost a real one last week. Someone who impacted Black boys, especially Black girls, and people globally. And his beautiful daughter and everybody else on that helicopter. Their families are also greatly and heavily impacted by that news as well. The coronavirus is making waves throughout the world. It's definitely causing quite a stir, and that's putting it very mildly in China, but it's also spreading rapidly to other parts of the world, right? Layoffs are happening and coming in Canada. There was Donut Gate with our wonderful and lovely Prime Minister. So a lot of change has happened in January. I remember I saw online, someone said that we've had a year's worth of events happen in 1 month in 2020. And I think that just goes to show the impact that this month has, or rather this year, 2020, the impact that it has on life, not just for you, not just for me, but everybody. It just shows how we're all connected in some way, shape, or form, that something that happens on one part of the world can come and have an effect on another part of the world. There's also, we have new visitors / residents here of the royal nature, or not royal, depending on who you ask. Meghan and Harry are splitting time here in Canada. What does that look like for the Canadian population? What does it look like for me? I'm Canadian. I live here in Canada. How does that decision affect and impact me? A lot is happening. And I think we need to take a step back and really make sure that we as individuals are grounded in what we need to do for ourselves and for our lives. We can't just be blown away and taken aback by every single news item, every single new thing that's happening. We have to look and see, what am I trying to do to impact the world today? What am I doing to leave my scar on the world? As a really good friend and mentor of mine, Diamond, always says. How are we making decisions, setting SMART goals to make ourselves better people, to be able to face the challenges that are happening and we're bound to face as life happens? So in the next segment, I'm going to let y'all into a little bit of what my goals are for February. And as always, stay tuned, stay connected. Let us know, join the conversation. Let us know how your January was. Leave a comment down below or to the left, depending on what platform you're on. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and put on push notifications and that notification when you subscribe on YouTube, so you can find out about more of the shows that we have here on MyTCNTV. See you soon here on In the Now.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
Hello, hello, hello. You're back on In the Now. So make sure you don't stop watching, because after my show, we're going to have Trish come on from Shaping Life, and she's going to talk about all things health, wellness, yoga. So if you're into that, maybe that's a goal you want to accomplish in February. You're going to start yoga. I personally have practiced yoga. I really liked it. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt that my body changed really rapidly when I was doing it. I love a good sun salutation. I will tell you that. Sun salutations, they are the wave. They're really good for you. But anyway, the whole purpose of today's segment, this last segment of In the Now, to close off a great show, Simone, we felt your spirit here with us today. Thank you for blessing us with your presence, or lack thereof. In any case, I wanted to share with you some of the goals that I have for myself, business-wise, personally, to encourage you and to share with you that, again, going back to what I said in the previous segment, you want to focus on building up yourself as a person. Yes, there's bad things happening in the news. Yes, there's good things happening in the news. But one thing that remains constant is you. So, one goal that I have that I'd like to share with you guys, and you guys have to make sure you hold me to it. So every time you log on to Facebook or into Periscope or into YouTube and you see In the Now, make sure you comment and ask me questions. Hold me accountable. I'm going to start my weekly book reading again, starting tomorrow. So I have a book that I already read last year, but I'm going to read it again. It's called Pocket Full of Dough by Chris Do, and he is an amazing designer, and he has started Future, or The Future, which is basically an online course and training program and series of programs and courses and content to help creatives, whether you're a photographer, a web designer, graphic designer. He provides amazing free content first and foremost. And he released his very first book last year. And I missed the Kickstarter, but I did purchase the book outright. And I read that book in, I think, 2 hours last year. So this week, I'm going to try and read that book again, cover to cover. And I'd really encourage you, if you are a creative, Selena, I would really encourage you to purchase the book. Firstly, the book looks really cool. It's like matte black and has like shiny black text on it. It is very Chris Do. And the layout and the format is amazing. It has amazing illustrations for every single chapter, and every single page in the book has a corresponding red and blue illustration. So I'm going to try and read that book for the first week of February and get that finished. And I'll come and talk to you all about it next week, because I'm going to be done it. I'm going to read it over the weekend so that I can say the first week of September, I read one book. So that's one of my first goals to achieve and accomplish in February. The second goal is to start sending out more sales emails. So that's a really big, scary one. Whenever it comes to sales, people get so scared, and I'm no different. But one big goal I have in February is to put myself out there. Right now, my business partner is doing all the sales emails for our business. And this is a new thing. This is part of the new structure that we're doing, where we are putting more emphasis, more oomph, and putting actual money behind doing our outbound marketing. So outbound marketing is when you, as a business owner, put yourself out there. And inbound marketing is when customers and clients come to you. So for example, when someone says, I found your website online on Google, that's a form of inbound marketing, search engine optimization. When someone says, hey, I saw your ad in the Toronto Caribbean newspaper, that's inbound marketing. Outbound marketing is when you now go up to potential customers and say, hey, I can offer you XYZ service. So we're really going to go ham on the outbound marketing from February 2020. I really want to have greater control over the amount of revenue that my business generates. So one way I'm planning on doing that. And we've set SMART goals behind this. You know, we've been really specific about how many sales emails we want to send out on a daily basis, how many sales calls we want to have a week, how many sales we actually want to close by the end of February and by the end of the quarter as a whole. So that's the second thing. A third thing on a personal level is I want to take greater care of my health and my body. So I'm going to make it a point to get my nails done every 2 weeks. And that's a big thing for me. You know, that's a massive thing. I never do my nails. And the fact of the matter, it's so funny because I literally have over 100 bottles of nail polish at my house, but like they're all separated and I don't use them at all. I have so much makeup you would not believe. I literally have an entire box that's like 2 by 3 feet filled to the brim with false nails, false lashes, like tweezers, nail polish, concealer. I have every single item of makeup you could think of I own, but I never use any of it. Which is, it's bad because number one, it's a waste of money because why would you buy all this stuff and not use it? And number two, point number one, why would you buy all this stuff and not use it? Which makes me wonder, why would I go out to get my nails done? I think it also stems into me wanting to take better care of my mental health and not work so much. So for me, at one point in time, I studied Cosmo in high school. Yes, I know. Can you believe it? The tech reporter actually went and did some Cosmo. Yes, I did. So I can do my own manicures and pedicures and nails myself. But I think I don't want to put so much stress and pressure on myself to do things. So I'm going to make it a point to go to the spa at least twice in February and get my nails done. Also, I found out one of my friends is opening like a salon and she's going to give me free eyelash extensions. So awesome. That's something I'm also going to do. You know, just like better myself. You know what I mean? So those are my goals for February. And we want to hear your goals. Share with us down below in the comment section or to the left or to the right what your goal is for February. What is your main number one goal? For me, those are my goals. Read a book a week, even if it's a small book. Get my nails done at least once in February. And the third one is to make sure that I follow my SMART goals regarding my outbound marketing, specifically my cold email sequence. And that's it, y'all. We've come to the end of today's show. I'm surprised I did this all by myself with Selena supporting me. I'm really surprised. I really did not think I'd be able to do it, but we did it. We did it, y'all. We did it. So thank you for tuning in to today's show on whatever platform you're on. We want to thank you for tuning in today. Coming up next, Shaping Life will be here, and they're going to be talking about health and wellness, and I'm sure they're going to have amazing tips. There is a special guest who'll be tuning in virtually, so go get yourself some juice, grab a pop, grab some popcorn, and come and be a part of that show. Thank you again for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Okay, press the button on YouTube and subscribe. Make sure you turn on the bell notification. The bell, you know, make sure you press it. Click, so you're notified every time a new show becomes live at MyTCNTV. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Periscope and Twitter. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you for being a part of In the Now. Bye.